Samoan power. But you don't want to go toe-to-toe with England in a physical battle. You want to move them around. They're not as fit as Ireland. I actually think they're quite unfit, apart from their back row. And I feel like Ireland have the fitness and just need to play smarter rugby at times, you know. Gave England way too many ins to that game when we could have put it to bed much sooner. Murray again going in, hands in the ruck, I believe. Just have a look now. Look, that probably would have been harsh. You know, he goes for it, he leaves it. That's probably fine. There's a couple of cynical hands in there, but that's not one of those occasions, so we'll play it on. Ooh. What a try. Bundy, we love you. What a good score. Just want to say something. I know I keep stopping it. I'm sorry about that. But the hypocrisy of some people really annoys me. Like, England fans don't miss an opportunity to wind up Ireland fans. Welsh and Scottish fans don't either. South Africans, neither either or. Like, they all love winding us up. Australian and New Zealand, typically when New Zealand fans come in with something, it's well timed, it's well thought out. They bide their time and they come up with something where you're like, oh, we knocked you out of another quarter final, and you can't argue. It's like, yep, you did. That's 2 in a row now they've knocked us out of. So they've got us there for sure. But I literally had everything said to me, right? So I'm going to just say it right now. There was an England fan talking about how when a video emerged of Itoje stamping on Mack Hansen, which I have footage of and I'm going to show you, which I think he should get a ban for it. But if I'm being honest, I don't think it'll even get looked at. I think it's absolutely disgraceful. I think great play by your captain. Grabbing the player off the ball after a scuffle has just calmed down. And he goes for 2 attempts, like 2 bites of the cherry. Everyone was saying that Marcus Smith was clearly hit by James Lowe. James Lowe was hit late on the ground to the head by Marcus Smith and got a little peeved. And then Freddie Steward thinks he has the right to grab him and shove him. They look to rough us up and really annoy us. And an England fan said that, what about, you know, a headshot to Ben Earl, which I didn't see personally. If anyone has footage, show me, but I didn't see anything clear and obvious. Talking about that push by Itoje in the line-out, he did. It was very marginal, sure, but that's payback for that ridiculous dive that you took. And also, England got a penalty in the line-out for a push that was very marginal, you know, extremely marginal. So that evens it up. Plus, England got away with an awful lot in that game. And then I said that. I was like, what about a late clear out on Tadhg Beirne to the head by Ellis Genge? Wasn't even looked at. Could have been legal. Maybe it was. Maybe the initial contact was on the shoulder and then the head, but it wasn't even checked. They could show it on that he did. Ben O'Keefe never looked at it. It wasn't on the big screen. Put it up on the big screen and let's have a look. You were quick enough to do it when we had our try disallowed. So if you want to do that shit, do it for big incidents like that. That's a potential red card if he comes flying in and makes head contact. That's a big call, I would say, worthy of the TMO. Penalty try, a potential penalty try, is worthy of the TMO to come in. I'm not just talking about the TMO in his ear and him telling us that he's hearing something. That's worthy of being put on the big screen for us to review. And I feel like Ben O'Keefe was very conveniently shy to do it when it was favouring Ireland. Did it immediately when it disallowed Gallagher's try, you know, and I thought that was terrible. So I argued that, you know, I said to this England fan who was getting all smug, what about all these incidents that weren't even looked at? You're talking shite. And then England fans and a Scottish fan, actually, who we ended up seeing eye to eye in the end. Aye. Don't mind Scottish people, they're grand. Don't mind anyone. Don't mind English people either. I'm just saying, There's nothing that annoys me more than a smug England fan slagging off Ireland. I'm prepared to take it if you're going to give it, you know. And then I said, Era done Vua, Era for the win, Ireland for the win. And I gave all the incidents that were legitimate incidents that were never even checked, that should have been. Cunningham South should have got a yellow card for that hit on Keenan because there were a number of penalties, and then that was really obvious. He should have been sent off for that. You know, the amount of warnings England got to do something that deliberate. And I mean, Itoje should have gotten a red for stamping on someone. Maybe a yellow, but the fact that he does it twice for me, I would have said red. That's a clear stamp on a player. That's a red card all day long, but nothing happened about that. So you want to start getting on your high horse, check those. And then I have fans, of course, going, still haven't won a World Cup. So I say, yeah, but we have a chance to go back to back to back and win 3 Six Nations. And I go, face it, you know, is that all you've got? And I say, like, for the population we have, which in fairness is a lot smaller than England, they've like 60 million and growing, if not more. I think they've got even more than that now. We've got like 5 million, you know, so they're 12 times more the population. They've got lots more players to choose from. And we still managed to show up, you know. Leinster have made, I know they haven't won it, they should have, and now I'm going to be critical on them for this. They should have won one of those finals, but they've gotten to the last 3 finals and come up short. So I guess, yeah, Bottler's tag, but Saracens managing to win it with breaching the salary cap, you know, like being ridiculous and overspending, which means that England have brought in harsher rules, you know, that way. So it serves them right, you know, trying to get advantages financially. It's like Manchester City in the football. So she goes, where's your World Cup? I'm kind of like, yeah, you've got me on that one, but I backed it up with arguments like we've done better than you in the Champions Cup. Leinster have 4 in a row, which is better than, or sorry, they have 4 titles, and Saracens, I think, have 3. So we've outplayed the English sides, who have way more teams and way more potential to win the Champions Cup. Like, she didn't like that, and I was like, oh, best of luck to both teams. You need to grow up, or don't cry about it, or whatever, you know, or don't get upset. And I was like, your buddy above is the one making complaints, and I'm just putting him in his place. You know, there's a real sense when an Irish person says something that, oh, stop being a whinging paddy, you know. Real derogatory. I just say it in everyday life that really annoys me. And we're talking rugby, but don't start bringing that shit into it. People have called me that before, and I'm like, nah, fuck you. I'm going for the throat here. And she just keeps bringing up the World Cup. And when I wasn't biting with that and actually had legitimate arguments, I just said, you play really boring rugby. You're not exciting to watch. If the shoe were on the other foot, you would be having a go at us, saying, you know, bragging and saying how bad we were, all this stuff. So don't pretend you wouldn't. And then she laughs. Oh, of course we would. Yeah, don't be so sensitive. And then she said, you mean with all your Kiwi players? And I went, well, if ever I heard pot calling the kettle black, like, England got to the World Cup final in 2019. Yeah, they did, fair play to them, but how many foreign players did they have? Willie Hines, the Vunipola brothers, Nathan Hughes, Manu Tuilagi, who was enormous, really big player, Joe Tokanasinga. I could name a lot more, like you got Brad Shields, you've got Dave Ribbons, Jesus, Mike Catt, way back now. Brad Barrett was another big centre for them, South African born. Thomas Waldron, Dylan Hartley being more recent, the dirty prick. And then she goes, oh, all your Kiwi players. And I basically shut her up. Was like, what about all these players? You'd be nothing without them. Sure, you might not have many in your team now, and that's why you don't win anything. Neither do we, like, to be fair, but well, that remains to be seen. We have a chance to win back to back Six Nations, 3 of them. And then she goes, boy, I'm off. You're boring me. And I'm like, I didn't fucking ask you to talk to me. I was like, good riddance, see you later. You're boring me now. Why? Because I'm actually giving you legitimate arguments. Do you want me to deny that we haven't won a World Cup? Never happened, so I can't deny that. We did bottle it in the quarter final against the mighty All Blacks, but you guys lost to South Africa and Australia. We beat Australia and beat Argentina. We beat Fiji. You know, they're well able to give it, a lot of these people. It's just ironic, isn't it? Me and the Scot, we found a common ground and had a laugh and admitted, yeah, we were dickheads. Both of us were. I was like, look, I'm sorry, mate. I shouldn't have said that. But I'm also getting Scottish fans who are saying they're delighted when we go out of the group stage. Or sorry, we go out of the quarter final of the World Cup and they've been knocked out in the group stages of the last two World Cups. You're like, if you're going to give it, expect to get it. Do you know what I mean? And don't start calling me a wine because I don't accept your criticism. You know, it's just pathetic. And as I said, at least our players don't stamp or dive. I've never seen an Irish player stamp anyway in a long, long time. Cian Healy on Dan Cole ages ago, yeah, not good. Should have gotten pinged for it, definitely, but hasn't done it in a while. In the modern game, like, you get pinged for everything. People are giving out about the TMO. It shouldn't happen. So what about player safety and all that bollocks that they go on with? And that's the thing, you know, like they wait for you to bite with the whole still no World Cup. And like it's 2003 since they won it with a brilliant team. Like that England squad was outstanding. Jason Robinson, Ben Cohen, Johnny Wilkinson, you had Lawrence Dallaglio, of course, and Andrew Sheridan, Julian White. And nah, look, it was a top quality side, not denying that. Was Brian Moore still playing? I love Brian Moore. I love his commentary. But she says it twice, right? And then when I didn't bite, and I give her other things that we've won, because you can't argue that an Irish team has won more titles. You know, we've won four, Leinster, which is my team, but I like to see Irish rugby do well. Toulouse, obviously, in fair play to Toulouse, I think they've six now, which is incredible. Um, Leinster hopefully can win a title this year. I think they have to, if I'm being perfectly honest. I just love all this shit in the comments, though, trying to wind you up. And then when you have a clever argument for them, oh, you're boring me, boy. It's like, I never fucking asked for your opinion. Piss off then. You know what I mean? It's like, I didn't ask you to join the conversation. We literally had this debate straight after the game, which would have been Saturday. It's Monday, and you're chiming in when nobody asked for your opinion. So get lost, you know. And when I give you legitimate arguments, don't start going, I'm boring you. I'm not here to entertain you. I am not entertained. Oh, it's just funny winding them up. And when I brought that up, if the shoe was on the other foot, how much would England have rubbed that in their faces? Like, come on, they love to brag. They love to put us down. So fuck them in this regard, you know. Anyone giving it big, that is. And I mean the team as well. You are just kind of like it's all in good spirits, but if dirty shit like that happens with a stamp, you know, and off the ball stuff, you're kind of like, you want to call us out on it. Expect to hear something back. I feel like too many Irish pundits and too many Irish players just go with the flow and allow stuff to happen. They need to call it out. And then, like, as well, having a go because we have foreign players. England wouldn't have been half the team they are without all the foreign players they have. Um, like, the Vunipola brothers contributed so much. You had Manu Tuolangi, who was literally, if you had nothing else on, he was your default. Give it to Manu and he'll truck it up. I forgot Ben Teo as well, probably because he was one of the most disappointing players I've ever seen. Hyped up, gave absolutely nothing in the end. You know, wasn't very impressive from what I could see, and I expected so much from him. I thought he was going to be good, but he just wasn't. When they do the foreign-born thing, when Marcus Smith was born in the Philippines, Faye Wabosa, who's a good player, was not only born and raised in Wales, he played his rugby in Wales. You know, you've Ethan Roots as well. Like, I could go on. Nathan Hughes, did I even mention him? Just the level of hypocrisy is insane. You know, they don't like being called out, and I just love catching them out because it's like, there you go, put that in your pipe and smoke it, and piss off and Get out of my business. This is the famous incident, the push. Just FYI, when you see Jack Conan, number 20, who had an absolutely phenomenal game off the bench, when you see him going up, I used to jump in the line out many moons ago. Then I was just put on solely lifting duties. When you're up in the air, any sort of contact can knock you over. Like even someone nudging into you could knock you straight over, and it's very dangerous. Good spot by Ben O'Keefe, and he also gave one for England, so I feel like that was pretty fair. Um, for any England fans whinging out there, you got the rub of the green on that one as well. So get off your high horse. Good tackle by Prendergast on Genge to hold him up there. Now watch Itoje eyeing up the jumper. When he goes in the air, it's very easy to unsettle a player in the air. I know watching it live, I have to admit, I was like, I didn't see anything, but it is easy to do it. If it hadn't have been given, I wouldn't have had any complaints. But let's get technical because they certainly got a lot of decisions. Now watch him. Look at his arm. His movement is clearly towards Conan. So he's impeding him. He's trying to be clever, but O'Keefe has eyes right on him and actually calls this one. He gets it right, in my opinion. And he knocks him off balance. You see? Cheeky little arm in there. Surprise, surprise, he doesn't agree with Ben O'Keefe. Fair play to him. I just credit where it's due. To miss two kicks and then to step up and go, I'm taking this. I back myself to get it and put us in the lead. That takes balls of steel. So fair play for that. Credit where it's due. Look, it's not an easy thing. He's only very young. So massive credit to Sam Prendergast. I just think we need to get our kicks, especially in Murrayfield. We are going to be tested. Bet your bottom dollar. Very good. This was a brilliant piece of play. Now watch Dan Sheehan and just how brilliant he is here. We're so blessed to have a player as good as him. Um, I'm actually getting ahead of myself. Tadhg Beirne. Change the name. Tadhg Beirne. One of the best second rows in the world. James Lowe as well. 3 assists. Like the only reason he wasn't in the team of the week is because of how good Louis Bielber was. See how they just hold on, just to slow the ball down. That time wouldn't really complain too much. Look at Itoje's foot. You can see directly across there, not behind the highmost foot. He's offside again. All these players are fine, but he is a good yard offside. That's being generous. All these players are fine, but that just highlights it's very strict now. Even you can see that he's offside, and I felt like there were a number of them as well that were just ignored. So yeah, let's get it. Let's say it as it is. Doesn't affect the play, but I'm just highlighting where they were setting up. There we go now. Yes. What a try. That's an area now where France could definitely target England. Look at the size of that gap. Genge and Cunningham South, two big men, slow, and Ireland exploited so well. I mean, it's so huge. Could drive a truck between that gap. We'll have a look here. Gibson Park does brilliantly though, just to make sure that he drew Genge in. Brilliant bit of sniping to draw Genge in and just make sure that that gap was exploited. Lowe comes tearing down the middle and he picks the right option in the end. Good pass, and then Tadhg deservingly getting a try and getting in my team of the week. That's one kick for Jack Crowley, and he gets another, which is much harder. Rolling Dan Sheehan. This is his moment to shine. Just a shout out to Dan Sheehan. What a brilliant player he is. Like, he's only back from injury for Leinster and he gets two tries, and he's back for Ireland and he gets a try. Like, take a bow, my man. Brilliant player. And he has two involvements before the try, and then he gets it. So, good kick by Crowley as well. And a good chase. Woo! When that happened, you could hear them complaining, and you're just like, yeah, you did that the whole game. So I'm glad that they let that one go. Gibson Park putting himself everywhere in the pitch, deserved man of the match, but you could have given it to Andrew Porter and Tadhg Beirne as well, in my humble opinion, or James Lowe. Phenomenal players. Oh, this is such a satisfying moment. Caelan Doris and Gibson Park absolutely nail Itoje in the tackle. Brilliantly done. And they put him down safely. You know, like, we want to say that that was illegal. They don't drop him on his head. They place him down safely. Nothing wrong with it, you know. And Jack Willis did it to Josh van der Fleer with another player for Toulouse in the Champions Cup just gone. So, yeah, it was done there. It's done here. No sanction. Play on. Here we go. Smash him. Oh, look at that. Yes, take him back. Lovely. That was so satisfying. Watching that on TV, just him getting absolutely smashed in the tackle. So you take that, shoot that up your arse. Then Doris comes in for the ball here. I think he lets go for a second. Certainly the same amount of time that the Curry boys were letting go anyway. And he holds on to it for a good while. There were two penalties given for England very quick, you know, like there was very little lift, but they were given the turnover, and you thought to yourself, first of all, their hands were on the ground, so their hands, like the palms of their hands, cannot be on the ground. They have to play the ball. If the palms go on the ground, then that's them out, you know, out of the competition. They have to let the ball go, and they didn't. And Cowan Dickey for one, where we had a really good attacking option, like a really good chance to score off a scrum, just stuck his hand in and pulled the ball back, and I felt like it was extremely cynical. We didn't get the rub of the green at all. Just highlighting that. Get to my notes in a second, but first I'm going to show you what I have video footage of. He has his hands on it. You can see him there with the hands on it, and once he's told to leave it, he does. Clearly was on it. Players holding as they always do. You can hear Doris saying, "I'm on that, sir. I'm on that." When he falls, his hand is clearly on the ball. He clearly tried to lift it, and he didn't get rewarded for it. Gary Ringrose had one in the first half where he went in, lifted it, got cleared out, got told to release the ball, and then the explanation given by O'Keefe was, "You let the ball go." It's like, "Because you told me to." It's like, I feel like Ireland didn't get rewarded enough in the breakdown, whereas England did. And there were a few, if you want to be very picky, knee on the ground. You're not allowed to have a knee on the ground, then stand back up. You have to be on your feet and play the ball. Ben Earl got one now. Incredible core strength to get it back, but he clearly put a knee on the ground before he touched the ball, and he was still given the turnover. And I feel like England were allowed away with it, whereas Ireland were a lot more harshly pinged at the breakdown when going for the jackal, which you saw there. Ooh, see that little shift pass there by Dan Sheehan? So subtle, but so good. So a good take, just set up. I'm sure France will be watching this thinking, we have the firepower to hurt England in this. Oh, that's how easy it was to break England down. I feel like Ireland just weren't good enough defensively in a lot of cases, but I also feel like it's exhausting when you're chipping away and the ref keeps penalising you when you're not doing anything wrong and you're about to break them down, and then you give the defence an easy release. Like that penalty for you know Tadhg Beirne grabbing Itoje and him taking the dive and then crossing. We didn't see it there. I'm surprised they haven't shown it in this. I always find that Irish highlights are not shown nearly enough incidents, whereas in other countries they often show everything that didn't go their way. But we're the moans, eh? I also want to look at that tackle by Finn Baxter on Doris. Now, he didn't get severely injured, but I was looking at this because I looked at a few clips before I played this for you. He has plenty of time to pull out of this tackle, and he decides to go for Doris's leg in a vulnerable position. And I feel like that sums England up in one, and their mindset more than anything. I feel like they were out to injure Irish players, which I hate to see, and I think it's dirty, it's cheap, and it's tacky. Finn Baxter is the big red-headed ginger fella with the bloodshot cheeks and the headband. Reminds me of, was it Megamind? One of the characters in Megamind. See him here in the headband. Now look how far out he is. He can hold his line there, no bother, because Doris may dummy and run into him. Ben O'Keefe is watching this. Joe Hayes is right next to him. All the big lads are getting in the way. But look, he targets the leg late after the ball is gone, and I feel like he's enough time to pull out of this. Sorry, I'm going to just slow that down because it keeps just pausing at the wrong time. See that he does have a chance. It's marginal, I feel like he has enough time to adjust though. We'll play it in real time because these things slow down can look a bit harsher than they are. But I do feel like he has time to pull out of it, and that's a very vulnerable position that Doris's leg is in. Feel like England were doing that the whole game. I also don't see a clear wrap there. I just think he dives at his legs in a very vulnerable position, and it's dangerous, and it could have been pinged. I think if it's any later, it should have been checked. It's very dangerous. Like if you get that wrong, you could do someone's ACL in. There we go. So like he's well out, you know what I mean? He can come up. Yeah, sorry, you have to go out but there. Yeah. Ooh, what a pass. Yeah. What a try. Sure was. That pass, first and foremost. Brilliant. Really good. That was a really good kick by Jack Crowley. You saw where the try was scored right out wide. That for me would be the argument starting Crowley instead of Prendergast. Fucking reflux is killing me, I swear. The more antacids. Now, just with less than 7 minutes to go, Healy and Murray were brought on, Conor Murray and Cian Healy. And I feel like you could see the drop off even in this period of time. You know, bad game management. People always talk about Healy being so great, getting all his caps. He was phenomenal. He misses a tackle, though I don't feel like a loose head prop should have to be out wide defending where he was. And I've seen Andrew Porter do it loads of times and Tadhg Beirne. Ireland need to work on that. You can't have your big props, especially not Porter, who plays 70 plus minutes, sprinting out wide, making cover tackles. I feel like that's asking an awful lot, especially the way he plays and how involved he is in everything. I feel like the last two tries for England were down to, not directly now, I mean, that'd be harsh to only blame those two, but you'll see Healy miss a tackle and you'll see Murray just not manage the game well, knock the ball on, and England get a chance to break when we really should have just sealed the game. Letting them get one try was bad enough. Letting them get two. Like, look, we're 17 points ahead with 4.5 minutes to go. We've got the bonus point in the bag. I feel like we just shut up shop and thought we had the game won, which, I mean, we did in the end, but England have the losing bonus point, and I feel like it really flatters them. That scoreline is what it should have been. We really let them get an opportunity they should have never gotten. And I feel like from the first try they got, that should have been it. We switch on now. We finish out strong. There was like 15 seconds of the game to go, and Murray knocks it on and gives England the ball back. And I just feel like that's bad game management, and that's what you can control. But roll on here. Now, from here, you think to yourself, we're okay. We need to shuffle across. There's three players over here, but we've got the cover. We're probably up shit creek without a paddle if those three were coming at Hugo Keenan. But I feel like we've had the chance now to adjust, and you'll see as I roll it on here. Now, as that ball is played, Henderson's out, but we have Tadhg Beirne covering this side. Randall's playing the ball. We have Conor Murray, Mack Hansen, and Cian Healy. Now, what is Cian Healy doing out wide? I don't know. He's outside the winger. Look, sometimes you end up in those positions, but look how easily he gets beaten by Ollie Lawrence. They're so close to the touchline, and I feel like he's just not got anything really to offer anymore. Maybe some okay scrummaging, but even in the carry, he's not as good as he used to be. I feel like we need some new blood in because he slipped off this tackle far too easily, and he's only on the pitch for, jeez, how long would he have been on? 2 minutes, maybe a bit more than 2 minutes. That's it, and he looks gassed. We can't be having that. We need fresh legs, and you don't want to remember him in the wrong way. Being in Ireland, great that he is. Wouldn't it be better that he retires remembered as a legend? Now, he will be remembered as a legend anyway, but you don't want him making costly mistakes in a game and being remembered for that rather than the great player that he was. That's my thinking on it. I want to remember the greats of Ireland when they were great, and then when they dropped off, that's it. I feel like there are players there who can come through and do a job. And Andrew Porter having such a great game. We need that man playing the calibre of player that he is versus the next best team. But you don't need the next best player to be as good as him. You need him to do 20 minutes and do a decent 20 minutes, maybe 15 even. I don't even feel like Healy can do that anymore. And with this tackle, you'll kind of see, like, watch as I roll on. Now, look where we are. Every man for England is matched up. It's a 4v4. Just stand your ground. Even if you get beaten here, Hansen has got him. Keenan has got that space covered. This was a very bad try. This was extremely soft. Like, no one should get through that gap. You step, stand your ground, and just show them to the touchline. Look where the linesman is. Look how close they are to the touchline. Even if Curry gets it, you know, Keenan has that covered. We've got cover coming across. Hansen's quick. Murray, not so quick, but still has a good turn of pace. Not like he used to. But this is what we can control. You know, I've given credit to England where it's due, but I also feel like our mistakes let them crawl straight back into this game. We gave them a very soft 12 points with less than 5 minutes to go, which is unacceptable at the top level. You know, having fought so hard to get the bonus point, they shouldn't have been anywhere near losing bonus point, and we handed it to them. So let's roll this on. Like, remember, Healy plants the leg. I know he's not the quickest. Look, he's a loose head prop. That's fair enough. I accept that. I don't even think he should have to defend in that channel, but Porter does it. I feel like Porter would make that tackle. Personally, man can do it all. I don't want to be bad to Healy. I think it's just his age. It's very hard being in the front row. I've only done it for 2 games, and my neck, my legs, everything were killing me. Everything was killing me, yeah. I just feel like he was done on the outside, and I feel like show him to Hansen. The cover is coming across. You know, it's just too easy. England should not get a... They end up with a 2v1 when we have enough players there. Like, if Healy stands his ground and Lawrence cuts back inside, Hansen could at least slow him down and Murray can jump on top. We fell off far too many tackles, and it's going to cost us. France have some absolute bruisers in the back who will smash us all day. And they have a great backline. Louis B. Elbery is like lightning. If he's gone, we're fucked. Thomas Ramos is a brilliant kicker of the ball. Whoever France bring in at fly half, they've always got a playmaker at fly half. You can guarantee it's Antoine Hassoy, if it's Mathieu Jalibert. If they put Ramos in a fly half and put Leo Barry at fullback, scary prospect. Not even that. Let's look at our next opponent, Scotland. Stafford McDowell, he's not a bad player. I feel like I was a bit harsh on him because of his name. It's just like, Stafford McDowell, good to know you. Billy Connolly does a really good piss take of posh Scottish people, where he's going, why do they always have the fucking surname as a first name? Fucking Stafford. Even he's saying it, like, come on. Right, come on. It's all in good spirits. All right. Some fella talking about me, like, not me, but the Irish commentary being anti-Scottish and racist. Really? You're going to resort to that just because we're having a laugh at Scotland saying they could win the World Cup every year and then getting knocked out in the group stage? Everyone was perfectly okay having a laugh at us. And look, you know, we are jokers. We have to hold that tag. We bottled it at another quarter final. You can say, oh yeah, well, we only lost by 4 this time. I have to accept we did, so fair enough. That's fine. England, with the poorer team than us, overachieved. They showed up and had bottle where we didn't. Ben Earl had a massive game. He always shows up, to be fair, the credit where it's due. I feel like we missed a big opportunity in this game, just on the subject of Ben Earl, because he was about to catch a ball off the kickoff, and he loves the obnoxious celebrations. All the Saracens lads, led of course by Itoje, you know, when there's a knock on going, yeah, you know, real American, like, fuck. I feel like, you know, someone missed a big opportunity there to just jeer in Ben Earl's face and just go, yeah, you know, and come up to him and just go, you fucked up, or pat him on the head or something. It's not in the Irish team's nature, you know. And while I criticise them sometimes for not being tough enough, I feel like they stepped up, you know, to a lot of big dick energy. and a lot of bullying going on or attempted. They stood up to it. They didn't get the rub of the green, like everybody keeps saying. Home advantage giving you the rub of the green. Where show me how. As I say, England should have had another card, and then Itoje should have had a card for that disgraceful stamp on Mack Hansen. And it's not shown in this, which I think it should be, but I have it for you. And I'm also going to show you another incident when I finally get to the end of this, which I will do. But this one, nothing wrong with this. This is just England exploiting. Ollie Lawrence had a really good game, but I couldn't justify putting him in the team of the week ahead of Ignacio Brex and Hugh Jones. Hugh Jones got a hat-trick, and Ignacio Brex and Tommaso Allen were Italy's best players. That's why some of these England lads don't make the team. That man did, because he was excellent. Tom Curry was brilliant. And look, he seems like an alright guy off the field. Everyone was having a laugh and a chat with him. Even like with Genge and all, there was a laugh and a chat. I told you, just walked off. I really don't like his attitude. He just walks off and doesn't talk to anyone. He's not really chatting and high-fiving. It seems to all be about him. I like Jamie George as a captain. I think he's really good. I think England do bring a lot of physicality and aggression. They do. You'll hear Alan Quinlan saying the aggressiveness. He just loves saying their teams are physical and aggressive. He always seems to have it in for Ireland. Maybe he's bitter because he was a dirty fucker when he played and didn't get as many Ireland caps as he should have done. Like, he was a really good player, but that gouge on Leo Cullen was scummy. I feel like he's very bitter about not getting more caps for Ireland, you know. And that's like, while I like a lot of Munster fans, he's real bitter about it, and you can see it. I usually say to myself, he was commentating on Tree where we were watching the game. I was like, if Alan says that was harsh on Ireland, you know it was, because he rarely gives anything in Ireland's favour. But enough of that talk. Let's roll this clip. Poor defending from Ireland. Healy, yeah, just too slow. Look how easily he gets done here for footwork. That's too easy. Like, very, very easy. And then even when you see where Curry is, Hansen and Murray have a head start. Curry and Murray, look. Hansen does try, to be fair. James Lowe is doing his absolute damnedest. Murray just doesn't have the legs anymore. Old Murray, I say old Murray, he is old now, he's 35, but 37-year-old and a 35-year-old in a game of this magnitude, Conor Murray would have gotten Tom Curry here. Lowe, in fairness, doing his absolute best, coming over from the left wing. Just outdone. I'll show you that again in full time. Like, Lawrence could only go back infield if Healy stood his ground. I feel like just let him go on, don't dive. He dives, he gives away an easy few yards. Lawrence takes it well. That shouldn't have been a try, though. That was too easy. Just even look at the play up to it. It's just one-up carries the whole time. It's not complicated from England. It's very simple. They're not doing anything. They don't have to do anything. As I said, 3 carries, you know, just shifting the point of attack. And they get through us far too easily. They did not deserve to get 3 tries in that game. 3 tries. I know. We were soft in defence. We're going to have to improve on that. Just a carry up the middle by Chesham, but we're all still doing all right. Again, we've enough people, like, we really do. And it's not complicated. They're just shipping the ball on. They're just shifting it from one player to another. It's very simple stuff. I feel like England were a lot better at hitting Ireland back when we did the simple stuff. When we turned on our skill that we really have, we do have a lot more skill than England. They've the more physicality, but we have more skill. When we turn it on, we've a lot more creativity. I feel like England play a really boring style, but because they have the physicality, they can come up like a blanket and they can suffocate you, which they do very well. He can't turn at all, you know, he just fell and was done on the outside. I think he's way past it. I can't see why he's in the team ahead of Michael Mill, Jack Boyle, even Jeremy Loughman. Um, Far too easy. That's going to cost us, you know. And if we keep playing Porter for those big minutes, he could get injured. And do you fancy Healy to do what, even 20 minutes? I don't. Jack Boyle, you ask him to play any longer, I'd be very surprised. Like Finlay Bealham got injured against New Zealand. Well, he didn't get injured. Sorry, he went off. Tom O'Toole came on and got a really bad knock. And Bealham was playing into the 68th minute, and he was doing his damnedest, but he just could not get back. You know, he couldn't get back and defend. But they kept Andrew Porter on as loose head. And Andrew Porter is more than capable of playing 80 minutes. We know that. And he can play on the tight head side. The smart decision, if you have a player who can last 12 minutes, that's how much it was, is put Porter on the tight head side, because you're up shit creek now without a paddle. You have to ask someone to play big minutes, because one of your props off the bench has got a really bad head knock. And O'Toole's been very unlucky, like that head knock, and then he gets a red card for that croc roll on Alex Nankivell. Well, he goes off, Bealham comes back on, was clearly gassed. Like, in fairness to him, he did his damnedest, but he couldn't run 68 minutes and he's done. Like, in fairness, most props are Andrew Porter is just superhuman. But in that game, I thought, you know, Porter can play 80 minutes. Bealham obviously can't. Take Bealham off, give him a rest, and put Healy on for 12 minutes. Did I not think he can last that long? Or even put Healy on a tight head. They've tried him out with tight head for Leinster. I don't know. I don't know why he's still in the team. I think there's players who can last more minutes and be more impactful. Like, how impactful can you be for less than 7 minutes? Didn't even get a rating because he was on and had that little an impact in the game. And all he did really do was miss a tackle. Made a carry here, which we'll see, but then again, Murray dropped it, and he's another player I feel. I will say, because Craig Casey is injured, fair enough, he want the experience, but he was at fault. He should have managed the game better. That's why you bring him on. He also had non-applicable because he didn't do anything really in the game of note. Oh. They're certainly happy, aren't they? It's not the parents. Ah, yeah. Yeah, in fairness, it's a good moment. He did, to be fair, have a very good game. As niggly as he was, Tom Curry, he was good. He got under our skin. That's why he made my team of the week. Like, the England back row were good, but Gregory Aldrit was better for France than Earl was for England. Rory Darge was better for Scotland than Ben Curry was for England. Rory Darge made the difference. Sorry guys, just this what's going on for a while. We'll resume. He did. Just realised that you guys can't hear, so they just said Lawrence completely did Cian Healy for pace. I did. Jeez, he really did. Now, here I was just thinking, I thought there was a potential knock on here by Tom Curry. I was almost certain I saw his hand coming in. His right hand knocks it forward, his left hand knocks it back. But again, controlling what you can control. There's 3 missed tackles here that are just not good enough for Ireland. You know, this is where you have to be good. But let's just look at it. I mean, I would have liked to have seen it on the big screen. That's why I'm saying it. It's like, you'll go to the Itoje incident and you'll say, let's put that on the big screen. And I get it, look, it's contentious. And yeah, it's the right call, but it happens all the fucking time. He goes to the TMO for that. This was a try for England, you know. There was a potential penalty try, as I showed you earlier in the first half. There was cynical play non-stop. There was a fucking stamp on Mack Hansen, which I'm going to get to, I promise. Stay with me. because this is disgraceful. I posted a short on it as well. And also, everyone giving James Lowe stick. Marcus Smith started that all day long, and Freddie Steward got involved as well, trying to rile him up. England started every single scrap in that game, and they've only themselves to blame for their shocking discipline, and they're lucky they didn't get more cards. Cunningham South should have got a yellow card for that hit on Keenan in the air. Like, as I say, if it was earlier in the game and there wasn't any penalties, I probably would have gone, all right, fair enough. It was a badly timed tackle, but he knew what he was doing. He had plenty of time to adjust. I'm amazed they haven't shown more clips on this, but look, well, I hope it pops up. I was trying to find the full game. Sadly, I can't find the clips, but the contentious shit I have, I will show you. Knock on here, though, I thought should have at least been checked. I think you can hear Ben O'Keefe saying, well, you can't, but that it's being checked. Put it up on the big screen. Why not? Let's see what we think. Show us on the big fucking screen, why don't you? Now, how does that ball come loose? That to me looks like a knock on. And if Curry slaps that out of Sheehan's hands, that's a knock on. That makes any contact with Curry's hand, which it looks like it does. Like, you can't see his right arm. But how does that ball come out if it doesn't make contact with Curry's arm? Where else can he put his hand? Like, let's play it again. Here we go. Now, Dan Sheehan has that in his hands if Curry doesn't come in and knock it. I'm fairly sure that's a knock on. And again, O'Keefe's not far from it. So you could argue, well, maybe he saw it and didn't see a knock on, but why not check? Because he missed enough in the game. But here, again, you have enough defenders. You should not get beaten. Another tackle missed by Healy. He just doesn't have it. It said you couldn't rate him. That's poor. He slips off a tackle so easily. He's missed 2 tackles. That's literally all he's done in the game. And 1 carry, which they haven't really shown. Wasn't very impactful. He didn't make many yards. And Murray gave the ball straight back, Yeah, not good. Poor from Ireland. Really bad game management. And the calibre of player replacing Gibson Park and Porter just isn't the same. They're not good enough anymore. They were, but they're not anymore. It's time to move on. And we have the players to do it. Caelan Doris, I think. Why not him? Why not Nathan Doe? John Cooney was left out for long enough. This isn't just a pro Leinster or a pro Munster thing. This is the best player for the job, Ben Murphy. Ben Murphy's a very exciting prospect. But anyway. And before I move on, every other player, bar Cian Healy, and well, actually, to be fair, Robbie Henshaw didn't have his best game. Given the calibre of player he is, he was actually quite poor, and he slipped off the tackle here, which you'd expect him to make. Thomas Clarkson was very good, solid in the set piece. I thought he was very good. Certainly made a name for himself to be a replacement and a successor to Tadhg Beirne, I believe. He does the solid stuff very well. So fair play, nice, very good. And if Michael Mill just get a bit of game going, I'm telling you, he's good enough. He's a very good player. I'm delighted to be signed for Munster. And Dan Bluler, who has been excellent for Munster, great signing, but he's gone back to the Sharks because they're saying how good he is. And they're like, nah, we're taking you back. You're that good. Michael Milne, if you're listening to me, I believe in you. Step up. I know you're good enough. I'm not saying Jack Boyle isn't good enough, but Jack Boyle is 22. For a prop, that's very inexperienced. It's very young, and you don't want to chuck him in the deep end because Healy cannot do the minutes. You see how much he's slipping off tackles, and I get it. Big man, I understand. He's 37, nearly 38. If he's asked to play, he'll fucking play. But it almost feels like Ronaldo in the Portuguese team. Healy will probably love me saying that. Certainly has the football skills of Ronaldo. Do you ever see him flicking the ball around? Yeah, he'll love me saying that, I imagine. One up carry, Murray and Henderson, who also played very well. Big carries. You know what you get with Henderson. Big, strong, burly ball carrier, and he made yards when he carried. He was very good. Conan and Sheehan were fucking excellent. Really good when they came on. Crowley looked so much more assured. Got two very good kicks. Looked a lot more comfortable and in control than Prendergast. I think he's certainly put his hand up and gone, I deserve to start in that green with that 10 jersey. Now, with a simple pass, you're there thinking, we've got that covered. But we don't. So Crowley slips off one, send in Henshaw and Doris to miss the next one. Like, looking at that, you think there's enough players around surely to make that tackle. Lowe even might come in, but to be fair, probably scared about it going out wide. Doris has to come across, so that's fair enough. Keenan's covering in the back. It's all a bit messy though. It was very easy to unsettle the Irish team, I felt. Weak, very weak. And that's how it ended. That's very weak tackling. That's how that game ended, guys. And I'm going to show you those incidents I was telling you about, and you tell me whether this merits a citing or not. I think it does. I think it absolutely deserves to be looked at. I think it's disgraceful carry on by a captain and a supposed leader of the team. This is why I wouldn't make. I was looking him up trying to find that late hit. Let's have a look now. I'm going to show you. Let's have a look. Oh, fuck. I want to make it bigger. Quality's not great. I'm sorry, I had to film it myself. England were doing this the whole game, trying to ruffle Ireland's feathers, If you watch, keep your eyes on Maro Itoje. So this scrap breaks out because Marcus Smith hits James Lowe late on the ground. Now, they love to say it was Lowe who started it. It wasn't. And I have a clip of that too. I'm going to pause this because this is poor quality. I know, I'm sorry, but it's the best I could get. That's why I wanted to show you if it was on another thing. But let's get to it. Smith always involved. Now, Mack Hansen is here. The whole thing splits up. Itoje's over around this side. Now keep your eyes on him at all times. Andrew Porter was sorting people out all day. Freddie Steward acting like Billy Big Bollocks, holding Lowe on the ground. Lowe got on top and was like, get the fuck. Nothing fires you up like beating the English in a rugby match. And no one is messing with Andrew Porter. Now, look where Mack Hansen is here. Look at Ben O'Keefe. Look at Josh van der Fleer, who is not involved because he's not that type of player. Not soft, just not a dirty player in any way. His attitude is great. He's a great player. Didn't have one of his best games, but he did put in 17 tackles. Credit has to go to him. So fair play. So while all that's over and Mack Hansen's walking away, look at this. Itoje comes up right beside Ben O'Keefe, who of course isn't paying a blind bit of attention to him. And watch what he does here. Absolute scumbag stuff. Itoje, using his toes all right. Look at him walking up and squaring up, trying to intimidate Mack Hansen, and Ben O'Keefe should have said something. Should have told him to split it up, but he's not. He completely misses something yet again. Still standing right there looking at it, and watch. Look at him. He's literally standing right beside it. That's pathetic refereeing. Like, what is he looking at? Staring off into the middle distance. Look at that. Grabs him. The whole thing is just settled down. That's the England captain. That's disgraceful. Now let's rewind that again. Keep in mind that Ben O'Keefe is right beside this when it's happening. He has one attempt here. And he pulls the foot back. O'Keefe is right on top of it. Couldn't be in a better position. Does nothing about it. Takes the foot back and he clearly stamps on him here. Look at that. Look at that. That's fucking disgraceful. That's scumbag stuff. If he doesn't get cited for that, but England were hard done by, weren't they? That's pathetic. That's your captain. Like, that is disgraceful, carry on. And that's absolutely disgraceful from Ben O'Keefe and the TMO not to come in on that. He is right beside that. It's a yellow card minimum. Look, the whole thing has calmed down. Look at Itoje coming in, Billy Big Bollocks, like, to start the whole thing up. Goes straight for Mack Hansen. Grabs him. Then Mack Hansen grabs him back. Like, how are you going to defend that, England fans? You're saying that he shouldn't have gotten something for that? He should have been at least given a penalty against him. He should have been carded. That's disgraceful, carry on. Terrible captain. Brutal captain. Like, that's the tone you're setting. A little cheap shot stamping on a winger. Big man, aren't you? And then look at this prick as well. Now, luckily, I've filmed it because our pundits just love to forget about all the niggly stuff. Alan Quinlan with his tongue so far up England's arse, he would stick it out. He's, out their mouth. Don't know how to even phrase that. His tongue's practically in the English brains, I should say. Let's just say he's licking their hole throughout the whole game. Now, what are you looking at? Get your own eyes tested. I know referees have a tough job, but like, you're standing right there. The incident happened right in front of you. But nothing will be done about it. You watch, nothing will happen. Aggressive. Aggressive. That's what Alan Quinlan said. Now, people were blaming James Lowe for this. Keep your eyes on it. He doesn't start this. He's hit late by Smith in a cheap shot, an absolute cheap shot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're the man leading the town. You're the captain. Great leadership. Diving and stamping on people when the whole thing has calmed down. What an absolute coward to do something like that. Good player, but dirty fucker to do something like that to a player. Big man grabbing a winger and stamping on him. Going for another attempt. Attempt. I'm gonna look at it one more time. Like, how he gets away with this in the game is beyond me. He said it again, aggressive. Ben O'Keefe says we're here to play rugby, and given these two, talk to your players. How about talk to yourself, you dirty prick, stamping on people. Tadhg always has something to say for himself, even when he's clearly in the wrong. The arrogance of the man, and piss poor captain, and a piss poor show from him. Don't see what all the hype is. He was good, but he's living off a lot of his past performances. That was so satisfying when he just got dumped by Doris and Gibson Park. That brilliant man there. But watch this now. This is what sparks the whole thing off. Now watch here when Lowe gets to the ground. Watch Marcus Smith come in. Watch his shoulder where he makes contact. He makes contact with Lowe's head. Let's see it again. Look, you can see it right there. Clear contact to Lowe's head with his bicep. Like, wouldn't you get pissed off if someone did that? Especially when a player's falling to the ground. It's an absolute cheap shot, and the ball is gone, clearly. Like, let's just show you. The ball is gone, so keep that in mind. So he flings it away about here. Ball is clearly gone. There's the ball there. Smith isn't even in the frame yet. He's coming into it. He can clearly see the ball is not there. And look, flies in and hits him to the head. But Lowe started that, didn't he? That's an absolute cheap shot by Marcus Smith. Other scumbag stuff, and that sums up England in the whole game. Late hits, dirty hits, stamping on people, diving, hollering to the ref. But we're the ones that are moaning, you know. England were hard done by, weren't they? Fucking disgraceful. Look at him, he falls down on top of him. Lowe hasn't even touched him at this point. He knows exactly what he's doing. The ball is way over here. And Lowe's the one who starts all this. He hits out of him with his hand, brushes his hair. That's what he does at most. Yeah, goes to hit him, does he? Brushes his fucking hair. That's all he does. And then Stewart gets on top of him, acting like Billy Big Bollocks when he's already on him on the ground. That's typical England trying to bully Ireland. How England feel like they were hard done by is beyond me. They were disgraceful in that game. As good as they were in parts. How did James Lowe start the fight there? Tell me. If you want to see it again, let's just play it again. Ball is clearly gone. Marcus Smith has a clear sight that the ball is gone, and he makes contact to James Lowe's head. A complete cheap shot. If the ball was in his hand, you might say, yeah, he's going for the ball. He sees it, and it's gone, and he decides to go for it. It's scumbag stuff. There's Marcus Smith over there, right? So he's coming in from a distance as well to make this hit. Ball goes from Keenan. Lowe gets it. Drops it out here. And it starts falling. You can see that it's gone. Stewart is clearly in a dominant tackle position. That tackle is completed. It's over. So anyone running in is just running in to put in a cheap shot, you know, lay down a marker. Marcus Smith clearly thinks he's hot shit. Lowe reacts, brushes his hair. I don't have enough hair to show you. Smith has a lot more hair than me, but how on earth was that scrap started by James Lowe? Smith should have gotten a penalty against him or a card, and then Itoje should have been given at least a yellow for that stamp, that cowardly stamp. Both of those acts were very cowardly. And then Freddie Steward was even more cowardly. He's on top of James Lowe, and he starts going for him as if he has the right to, because Lowe got pissed off with a high shot. Love how England always think they're in the right, even when they start the whole thing. Always playing the victim when it suits them. That's a cheap shot. If that happened to me in a game, I'd be pissed off. You know, he's clearly just gone in to, you know, get a little shot in on Lowe and piss him off. And rightfully, Lowe has gotten pissed off. And it's one little grab at him, and then Stewart starts attacking him as well. Look at him, goes for him. Smith acting like the victim. And of course, one of the Curry brothers joining in. Look how many, there's 3 England players on top of James Lowe trying to rough him up after they start the whole thing. And I keep saying it, they were the ones that were hard done by. Explain that one to me. Ollie Lawrence coming in. Don't think Ollie Lawrence is a dirty player, but they're all coming in acting like they're in the right. When there's 2 incidents for me there that could have been a yellow card for both players. Smith would have been off the field. Both of those incidents weren't a review, but they weren't even looked at. And you saw where Ben O'Keefe was. He's right beside the incident and does nothing about it. That's disgraceful. England again feel like they're hard done by. I'm only showing you snippets of this. Lots more happened in the game that I could tell you about, and I will. But always playing the victim when it suits them. He's right to grab him around the neck. Stewart's trying to be Billy Big Bollocks, you know, and intimidate him when it's his teammate that started the whole scuffle. And then it's their captain coming in and just escalating the thing. Then of course Smith going in again. So explain to me how England were the ones hard done by. How many incidents have we seen there that should have gone Ireland's way that didn't? But England are the ones hard done by, of course. Yeah, obviously. I'm going to show you a clip actually. South African accent. It's a good accent.